it's Rhea. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. By the way, if I sound tired, it's because I have not slept yet and it is currently almost 9 a.m. This is nothing new, I'm fine, it's totally fine. But welcome! It is time for my, I guess, seemingly annual long drawing session, although I would say this one probably isn't that long. I'm pretty sure my last video for 2023 and 2022 were like over an hour, so we're definitely not doing that this time around, but we are going to be drawing on my iPad, which you can see. Before I get into anything specific, let me just preface a few things. No, I will not be drawing this slow this entire session. But one, per usual, whenever I film on my iPad, I still haven't found the perfect setup on capturing everything, so pardon any like slight shift in how things look. I say this every time I film any digital drawing that isn't a time-lapse or a screen record, but basically the camera, though it's normally in a comfortable and simple spot whenever I do traditional art, whenever I film digital art like this, it's often like looming right over my shoulder or it's tangled up with my arm, and it's just a very awkward and chaotic time, but we do our best. And the second thing is, you probably already knew, but the characters that I am drawing this time around are all my OCs. And lastly, the structure of this video is going to be interesting, I guess. I mean, first off, this isn't real time on terms of me talking while I draw. The thought of that was really nice, but there's just no way that that was going to happen. But also, this is separated into different parts, and it's kind of like a compilation of like snippets. The part you're seeing right now is the base sketch, which I decided to simply just do off camera after a few poor attempts to try to figure out what's going on. It's just a lot more streamlined to skip that part of the process, and I feel like I waste less time trying to show something you probably aren't as interested in seeing anyways. So yeah, I sped it up, and after the base sketch, I jump into the actual sketch, or what you might be calling line art, though for me, it is going to be still very much like sketched lines. And after that phase, I will do a base color of everything while kind of doing like the laziest rendering ever, to the point where it's hardly even rendering and more like I'm just goofing around and coloring with slight details here and there. So yeah, that's how the footage will go, and obviously it took a lot longer than how it appears in the video, but nevertheless, I did all this throughout probably the past 12 to 16 hours. Not like it took me 16 hours, but like I definitely did this the day before New Year's Eve, and I'm hoping to get this out on New Year's Eve. Needless to say, I am back on my video cramming, except I am not, because this is hopefully the last time that I have to do this, at least for a while. I just wanted to do a nice little chill drawing session video one more time before the year ends, so we can kind of just chill together and reflect, although I'm completely aware of the fact that most of you seeing this will be in the newer year, in fact like 99% of you, because it'll only grow as time goes on. So I don't know, let me know if you made it to like the top percentage that watched this the last day of 2024. And it's okay if you are ahead of my time zone, you can just say that you're in CST with me. But yeah, or maybe you're watching this in a completely different future beyond even 2025, which would be very wild, but hey, it'd be like that, and I'm glad that I could keep you company regardless. But before I talk about the future and videos and stuff though, let me just briefly cover what scenarios each of my OCs are in, unless you want to guess. You can, I guess, mute or skip this part if you want to guess what each OC drawing, like what's happening in each one, but I don't even know if that's exciting. Like, would you even be able to, I don't know. Okay, anyway. Well, I don't know, because right now I'm still sketching things, so maybe it would make more sense if I explain it later on. I don't know. Actually, yeah, let's do that, because then you have some time to guess, or, you know, just kind of like figure it out with your context clues potentially, despite how off you might end up being, because I don't even know if this is going to make sense. But yeah, let's talk about the process and like putting this together. So in general, this was definitely a very lax spread, and I haven't touched my iPad in a hot minute. I've been doing mostly traditional art lately, so I was kind of shook that this didn't end up looking like the worst thing I've ever drawn. I did run into a lot of back and forth moments due to like rustiness and stuff, Like whenever I first started out on this drawing session and stuff like that, I was really trying to figure out like which brushes to use for like sketching and like for the quote-unquote line art, because I think I say this all the time whenever it comes to Procreate. I have yet to feel like there's my holy grail on terms of like a brush that I found. I haven't really found a brush that I absolutely adore yet. A lot of it is kind of like trial and error and just kind of feeling things out. And even though I've went out of my way to like allocate different kinds of brushes in different kinds of folders now, like I have a brush folder for like sketching, for line art and things like that. That's definitely helped, but I don't know. I think it's also because I don't use Procreate consistently, or I haven't been using it consistently, so like I don't really know just by nature or habit of like, oh, I know for sure that I'm gonna use this pen to sketch, or I'm gonna use this pen for sure to do the line art. I'm still trying to like really get that down, so you're ready to like use Procreate more and just kind of like break it in, because I have used it for quite some time. I think it was in 2020 that I first bought an iPad and started using Procreate, so yeah, it's been about like almost 4 years. And so it's like I feel like I've gotten mostly comfortable with working in it, but it's just the issue of consistency, because some of you may know I got my first digital tablet, like or not first digital tablet, but my first display tablet, with like the actual screen for you to draw on, as opposed to like drawing on just a regular tablet and having to look up at the monitor. I got my first display tablet last year, like almost literally a year ago, yeah. And I am debating on making a video about that in the future, because since it's been a year, I can like give some updated thoughts or whatever, but really I don't know if there's anything like specific to say. I absolutely enjoy using it. It's been such a godsend. It's just amazing, and like I feel very comfortable working in Clip Studio Paint with my tablet. The brush range is amazing, like the amount of brushes that I can get because of other people that have made the assets. It's just so nice. Like, yes, you can get a lot of brush assets with Procreate too. Like, I'm definitely thankful to all the packs that I've been able to find and use because of people online sharing it, but I don't know, the difference in range with Clip Studio Paint is like, it's very obvious. And also, just the way that the pins feel, I think that has a lot to do with it, really. The way that the Apple pencil feels compared to using my tablet pen, or whatever you call it, the stylus. Yeah, it's just, like, I don't know, using the Apple pen, like, the Apple pencil is so stiff feeling, and it's just because of that narrowness all in one, and it's like hard. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not really it. And then also like with the way it feels on the screen, even though I have like the paper-like, or I don't know if it's paper-like exactly, it's probably like a knockoff version or something like that, but like with the sheet protector, the screen protector, that's like, you know, it kind of breaks away that friction a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not, the difference is very obvious still for me, and I am most definitely in favor of my digital tablet as of lately, but again, I want to get back into using Procreate in my iPad and just getting comfortable with that, so we'll see. I literally had to reset the pin pressure as well, because that was tripping me up and I was like, this is not gonna work. So I had to reset my pin pressure, and yeah, just a lot of figuring things out. Also, whenever I was doing the very base sketch, I was debating on whether or not I should like look for references or take photos for references, and at first I was like, it's fine, I'll just wing it, and then I was like, this is not working out. So I ended up taking photos of myself for reference of like the small poses. I think like that's a good reminder for me to realize that like, yes, it's good to do studies, because I'm sure that I've been doing studies and I'm probably going to be like doing a lot more studies soon, but to remember that there's a balance between like, yeah, it's good to do studies, but it's also good to try to draw based off of your own knowledge, so that way you can see how much you've grown or how much you've retained. I think oftentimes it's ideal to like draw the pose how you think it would be, and even if it looks janky, you know, you can just go back later on when you're touching it up. That's whenever you can use the reference, but it's good to at least make the effort first. That way you're not like immediately relying on another source. You know, you're kind of using some of that brain juice. So yeah, I feel like it overall took a lot of time to warm up, but we did end up getting there eventually, and I feel like this style of how I end up doing this spread is more or less how I'd like to do sketch spreads in the future digitally, where it's kind of like you just doodle stuff a little bit and then you color it. How much you want to touch up the quote-unquote line art or sketch lines is definitely up to you. Some people probably like wouldn't even do a base sketch first. They might just do the initial sketch and then color it. Some people might do a base sketch and then the sketch lines that I do, and then they might do line art on top of that, make it a little bit more refined and solidified. I kind of like keeping it sketchy. Like, I want to make sure that I know what it is that I've drawn, but I don't need it to be like line art levels whenever I go to do pages like this, because most likely I'm going to end up coloring it underneath, and then I'm going to merge the layers together and just paint all of it together. Because I just feel like that works a lot more smooth for the overall look that I want. Again, I do feel like there's been times where I've just kept the sketch as is, and I think in this case I'm not gonna end up merging them together and painting everything at the end. I might do that on my own time, but the way that I leave this sketch page is pretty I guess lackluster compared to like how I could push it, but I'm okay with that, honestly. Given my sleep deprivation and rushing and casualness in this spread, I think conceptually it's very cute, and I would love to do more of these. And I also would love to render it properly, because I just feel like that whole overpainting, I guess, is that what you would call it? It really helps bring everything together. But considering that I didn't do that this time around, I still feel like it came out pretty nice. And OC wise, there's so much to cover, but at the same time there isn't, because I really want to work on how I display my OCs. I want to just work on them in general so badly, like just OCs and original content, all of that. It's a very big part of my art goals for next year, which doesn't mean I won't be diving into fan art. It just means that I really want to make progress on my own characters and stories or concepts, things like that, because I feel like it's quite the core of me as an artist. I feel the same way with other artists. Like, yes, I enjoy seeing people's fan art, and there's definitely some artists where their fan art of a character specifically is like so precious to me, or I think it's like so well done. But at the same time, I feel like I take a deeper interest whenever an artist also has a form of original content, whether if it's like their own characters or their own conceptual storytelling or things like that. I just really, I don't know, because it feels like it's their own voice in a way. Not to say that there's something wrong with drawing characters or whatever from already existing franchises, but there's just something really special about art that someone made from their own mind and their own heart. I don't know, is that... I hope like you guys understand the balance that I mean there. There's only so much originality that we can have, since there's a lot of things that have already been done before, and it's just kind of natural for us to repeat those, and I think that is definitely a-okay. I think we make it our own in our own special way. But you know what I mean, like just original stuff. I think it's just really freaking cool, and I want to work on that. I want character sheets that serve whatever purpose I'm looking for, preferably with a layout that I can use for each character in the future for like sake of consistency. And I've always said this, so I have yet to implement it, but yeah, let's see if I am a clown or not. But I also really want to work on the lore and logistics of things, because like it doesn't have to be perfect, and nothing is set in stone since I'm quite far from creating any official work of my original characters. But I do want a better grasp so that way I can just explain to the average oncoming person. And honestly, I feel like it would just make me really happy to be able to do that because it feels like at that point my characters become more alive that way, you know? It's like having somebody ask you about your OC for the first time or doing fan art of your OC for the first time. It's like you realize that, like, I mean, we already know for the most part, but like whenever your character is like, you know, drawn to life by somebody else or like, you know, someone else recognizes them in any kind of way, it feels kind of special, you know? It's like, oh my gosh, look, it's my little star. So yeah, a lot of the beginning of 2025 for me should be stuff for character design, like building both the comfort in designing new characters when needed, as well as the comfort in drawing characters in general with a way that just really captures their essence, if that makes sense. So if I need to design a new character, boom, I got it. It's done. I'm confident with it. It's convenient. And I got it down. If I need to just simply draw a character for myself or for somebody else or like fan art wise, then I also have confidence in that too. I just want to be very versatile with those two things because character art and illustration, I believe, is kind of like where my interest in art lies. I mean, obviously I'm interested in a lot of different forms of art, but I feel like on terms of traditional art, like drawing type of art, I think it is mostly in like character art and illustration. So I want to work really hard on those two things and all the stuff that revolves around them, and I feel like I've been plotting and scheming, planning a lot of stuff around that. Like, I feel like I have a lot to put into place, but at the same time not really. I don't know if it's just like the sleep deprivation getting to me, but I do want to pace myself though and like not bog myself down with too many aspirations, because I also have to keep in mind that it is likely that I'll lose a significant amount of like the time that I've spent on art. For context, I don't do art as a full-time thing at all. I got my degree in, well, it's a BFA degree, but it is focused on graphic design because that's what I thought I should choose as my career. So I have taken a few roles as a graphic designer since I graduated at the end of 2020. Although right now I am currently in between jobs, and it's been that way for quite some time. Like pretty much all of 2024, and yeah, I still am very much capable of designing. It's just the job search really is that difficult these days, unfortunately. But on a more fortunate side, I guess, it's kind of like a trade-off where because I wasn't working or anything like that, I was able to focus more on art most of this year and just kind of like figure out things with that. And I can say with 100% certainty, like, art is, like, my love for art is very apparent. It's very much like innate. It feels like breathing air. I often compare it to, like, if any of you are Haikyuu fans, I very much compare my love for art to the way Hinata loves volleyball. It's like something very insane. Generally, I have tried to just like work on any art projects within like an 8-hour time frame while I've been like off work, I guess is one way, unemployed essentially. Where yeah, I work on art like as if it's a typical office job, but it's just art. I've done that a lot throughout this year, and I have no problem with doing more than 8 hours. Like, I used to think if I kept doing that day in and day out that I'd get sick of it, or I'd be like, okay, I need to switch it up a little bit, let's play like a game or something, let's like do some other form of something creative, because I do enjoy like many different forms of creativity. But no, like literally just sitting somewhere and drawing while listening to music or like some videos in the background or something, like, I mean, all day, truly all day. He's like just unbothered. Yeah, I know for a fact. I just feel comfortable like that. But that's, you know, time is money and so on and so on. So it's either I am getting money but I am not having enough time for art, or I am not getting money but I am working on art. And the 2023 was the first one, and 2024 was the later one, the one that I just said. So I got to work on art, but I am broke. Yeah, I just didn't work. I mean, honestly, I could have just gotten a part-time or like something. There wasn't anything stopping me from doing that, I guess, outside of my own anxieties and stuff. But basically, I'm at my wit's end lately, and I need to find somewhere as soon as possible. And I'm just trying to like mentally prepare for like that switch that's gonna happen whenever I don't have all this time that I've had to work on art, because I know it might be a little bit jarring. And it's crazy because I had been preparing myself all throughout 2024 because I expected to, you know, find somewhere or something like that a lot sooner. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to like do this. I need to draw now. I need to do all this now. And yet here I am. But again, I can't complain. Art truly is such a special thing to me. It's a very common scenario and a very unfortunate one, which is my passion versus capitalism. Because yeah, as much as I enjoy art, I need money. So yeah, again, like I said, I'm expecting things to change quite soon. Otherwise, I have considered opening commissions soon, which I definitely would announce on my Instagram if nowhere else, but who knows, maybe I will finally utilize the community post on YouTube too, because I keep forgetting that's a thing. But yeah, I do realize that I could have opened comms like a lot earlier. Honestly, I think the reason why I waited so long was partially out of fear and anxiety, like just kind of worrying about adequacy, which is crazy because I've been drawing far more than I've been doing anything else in life. So outside of yapping, oh my gosh, I'm kidding. Unfortunately, I've always gotten cold feet whenever it comes to monetization or like capitalizing off of my skills that I have a passion for. Because even with design, I've never really like done any freelancing, and that could have also been another way to make money. I don't know, something about the whole process of working with someone and contracts and stuff, it kind of scares me off, but I need to get over it because it is kind of just like the reality of my profession, and really and truly I can only like learn as I go. I can only prepare so much, you know, so yeah. Also, we're gonna have a little intermission in between of me getting coffee, or not coffee, hot chocolate. We're gonna have a little hot chocolate intermission, so if you need to take a little break or something soon, light a candle or whatever, I have like, it's gonna be like a clip of that, and then whenever that is done, I'll come back and explain the OCs and like what each scenario is. But yeah, enjoy this little, it's like 30 seconds at most, but yeah, a fun little cinematic moment. Also, don't forget to stretch and hydrate. Water is probably better than hot chocolate, but as it's gotten colder, I've been kind of obsessed with it lately, so alas. Okay, I feel like I have to apologize because that could have been edited so much better, but like legitimately when I tell y'all I have not slept in like a day at this point, it's just kind of like I need assistance, I need help. But with that little cute intermission out of the way, we are now going to start coloring my little doodles. And I think I was like adjusting the background to sort of like get a feel for things, but it is going to be sped up once again because of course how else am I going to fit like all these like hours of footage. I mean, I don't think it took like a super long time, but I was definitely kind of like I was very leisurely with this spread. Oh my gosh, voice cracking literally everywhere. Guys, thanks for making it this far if you have. But as for my OCs and like what's going on, so for this first one that I'm coloring, you can see that they're kind of like paired off and like duos. We have one trio, but everybody else is like duos. I love a dynamic duo, but the funny thing is like not all these characters, like the first two characters that I've drawn here, they are not, technically I don't think they're in the same universe. No, I don't believe they're supposed to be in the same universe. So the first girl that I'm coloring with the red hair, her name is Sai. I love her very much. I feel like I start every OC introduction with their name is blah 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 and I love them very much. Girl, we get it. No, but she is a knife seller, I suppose. That's one of her, I guess that's one way you could refer to her. She likes knives, hence why she is handing over one to my other OC, who's named Phrase. Phrase is very, I don't have much that I can think of on terms of her personality. I think she's just like, she's very like sweet, chill vibes. I'm sorry. This is why you don't do a voiceover whenever you're sleep deprived, but we don't have a choice, so bear with me. Yeah, Phrase is paired often with Zure because they might potentially be girlfies. Girlfies sounds weird. I'm never saying that again. What the hell? Wow, can I like make any kind of sense or be normal for like a solid 2 seconds? Let's just talk about what's going on. So we have Sai on the left and Phrase on the right, and it's kind of what you can probably guess. Phrase is in the midst of baking cookies or something like that, and Sai is like, "Do you need a knife? Would you like to use a knife for your cookies?" I don't put the captions in until the very end, so that's probably why I said if you want to guess, you probably can, because yeah, you don't really see any of the text until later on at the end. But I do kind of find it a little bit endearing to like do drawings like this where people interact but there isn't any text. It's just kind of like, maybe at most it's like an emoji or something, because I don't know, there's something about that that's like, you know, you don't need a language, it's just the vibes that you get from the interaction. I mostly like it because it's cute in the sense that Sai is kind of like a dangerous lady, very femme fatale energy, and Phrase is like, she definitely has like a more cunning side to her, but for the most part she's very sweet, very chill. So seeing them interact, I think I just found that very precious, also because like, I guess their colors as well, with Phrase being, Phrase is based off of, like, you spell her name as if it's like the English word phrase, like a phrase to say, but it is based off of the French word for strawberry, so in case you were wondering. But, see, this is why I don't talk about my OCs, because it's just, I feel like I'm all over the place, and and we gotta change that. 2025, we gotta change that. But, moving on to the next duo, I wanted to draw these two. These two you've probably seen before. I feel like on terms of reoccurring OCs, you had to have seen these two if you've seen any other videos that feature my OCs, which, I don't know, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I can't stop talking about them, other times I'm like, what do they exist? I don't know. But these two are named Lilith and Roji. So Lilith is the girl to the left, with the sort of like dark heavy makeup. She has a very vampire strong aesthetic, very gothic. I keep saying vampire aesthetic like she isn't potentially a vampire. And on the other hand, Miss Catgirl over here, oh my gosh, I just realized I didn't incorporate her tail anywhere. But yes, for her, that is Roji. She kind of has like, they both have like the supernatural energy to them. One of them, as I've already said, is vampire themed or coded, however you want to put it, and the other one is kind of like a mix between like a cat and a ghost. I know the logistics of this, I just don't want to introduce it right now. Like, I'm not going to explain too much about any of my OCs in this video, unfortunately, because I don't want you to get any more confused than you might already be at this point. And there's just like too much to like lay down. So I'll just skip the basics and keep it going, but these two are, I wanted to draw them with sparklers, I guess. This entire spread is very festive based. I probably should have said that, like, anywhere before 30 minutes into the video, but alas. Yeah, it's a very, like, festive themed spread because that's kind of just the mood that I have. Don't get me wrong, I'm very much dead inside for the holidays. However, when it comes to self-projecting onto my OCs, obviously I'm gonna think of everything wholesome and sweet and fun and great. They can't just always have trauma. So yeah, the way that I drew Roji's expression of like her looking at the sparkler, it's so wholesome. I definitely want to like render it because like it's just, she looks so bewildered and like it's very much like on brand with her being a cat girl, because I feel like now people, please do not put any kind of, what is it, are they, do they count as explosives? I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I think it's pretty common knowledge not to like get any kind of pets or animals in general involved in like sparklers or fireworks or anything like that. They're just absolutely terrified by them. So yeah, and also it's just dangerous for anyone really. You have to be careful, even as a human being. But that said, if a cat could interact safely with sparklers, I feel like they'd be like, wow, what the heck, that's amazing, you know? So that's kind of what I wanted to try to capture in Roji's expression. And Roji, actually, I kind of did like a redesign to her. Like I reworked her design this year, I want to say, and even though I'm not entirely sure I'll keep it, it definitely is grown on me. I think it's really cool, and I think it fits a lot more into that supernatural Halloween type theme that I keep associating with those two. I also forget to mention that all of my OCs in this spread, I'm pretty sure, they have some kind of twist on their clothing or like their appearance. It's based off of, you know, it's like it's continuing the festive theme. So Sai's top was like dark green with like the red bow, and then Frey's, I usually tend to put Frey's in red. I want to say it's either red or yellow or white, but I gave her a red apron as she's baking cookies. And then Lilith and Roji, Lilith kind of has like, honestly it didn't strike me as to like what it might be until like what it reminded me of until later, but her outfit kind of reminds me of like Raven from Teen Titans. But it's kind of supposed to be like a fluffy shawl type thing, and I usually put her in a corset, so there's that. And then Roji is wearing like, she normally is wearing like a sweater cardigan, like off the shoulder cardigan sweater thingy or whatever, with like really puffy droopy sleeves, and so I made it like festive themed by making it like snowy kind of, with a little snowman emblem that I probably didn't even color in, to be honest. But and then right now the two OCs that I am working on, so we have Mira and Mira's brother. I feel so bad that I keep calling him Mira's brother, but guys, I really, it's been years. I still don't have a name. Please, I think if nothing else, I should make the goal for 2025 to come up with a name for Mira's brother so I can stop calling him Mira's brother, because he deserves so much more than that. He is so precious. But he is the one with the purple hair that I am coloring in right now, and well, now I switched over to Mira, but Mira is actually pretty popular on terms of OCs, not in the sense that like people know him. I don't know who knows my OCs, but if you do, bless your heart. But Mira is kind of like the poster child whenever it comes to my male OCs. Whenever I think of a guy OC to draw, I usually end up drawing him. He's definitely one of my longer running OCs. I can't remember how long I've had him around, but yeah, just pink-haired pretty boy with an attitude, very tsundere, but I love him. He's just so precious. Also, he likes astronomy themed things, hence why he has like the star and moon earring and all that, and his bomber jacket. But here what's going on is Mira is, I guess it's like he got his brother a gift Did I say that they're brothers? They're brothers, if you couldn't tell. They're most definitely related, but yes. So he got him a gift. He gets him like a scarf, and I'm kind of using this as a prelude because I would really like to draw these two kind of like on a wintry day, maybe like just somewhere. The thing is like I really want to do some kind of like I want to do that this year, but I also wanted to do it like I might try to do it this new year, this upcoming, like in 2025, where I do an illustration of my OCs like just once a month, maybe kind of like calendar style or something. So yeah, I want to feature an OC once a month in an illustration, and I think that'd be really cool. I was also thinking about like, I don't know on terms of like zines or anything like that. I don't know if that's something that I could put together currently or anytime soon, but I do think it'd be cool to do like a lookbook. I've wanted to do that for quite some time. I've always had it in my brain because I really enjoy fashion, and I definitely need to work on it though, so maybe that's why I say I'm like, it's definitely a work in progress on terms of a thought. But yeah, I think that'd be really sick to do like some kind of lookbook of my OCs and their clothing and stuff like that. Maybe based, I could be like seasonal based or just like different styles like streetwear, and yeah. But I have so many more thoughts that I need to collect before I like dive into that fully, but I do think that'd be pretty cool. And moving on to the sketches that I am coloring now, these three are OCs from not my latest Persartify, but the one that I did in 2023, the only Persartify that I think I did for 2023. Kind of similar to what I did this year in 2024. I only did one because they keep taking me for free and ever, even though it's not even that serious. But so I made 3 characters based off of flowers, and they are also supposed to be fairies. Now, they don't have like the fairy wings, I guess, so I don't really know what to tell you on that. They kind of just look like regular human beings, but just take my word for it, okay? It's fine. Anyways, the one in the red is Rose. The one in the middle with the pink is Sakura, and then the one on the right is Hydrangea. And yes, they are all very precious to me. However, I'm kind of making a meme at my own self because, so Rose is like just completely out of it. Like, she's wasted. She's got her wine bottle and she's vibing, because I think it's like lore-wise, I feel like she has wine auntie energy, you know? Like she just has that energy. I don't know how to explain it, but the one in the middle, Haruto, he is sad because he doesn't have enough screen time. None of these 3 got any kind of love after I created them. I feel so bad. Like, I just didn't. I drew them once and I was like, okay, that's great, and then that was about it. And it's been like a year. Like, that's not good. Hello? I need to take care of them better. So he's like sighing in the middle, and then Anji, yeah, that's what I named her. Anji, she's like, maybe if we want more screen time, maybe we should put on cat ears and see if that works. Also, a couple things. I'm about to like make a giant jump on what I'm coloring because I end up losing camera footage. Unfortunately, it got corrupted, so all of that of me working on the rest of Anji and then these last 2 characters is just completely like I don't know what happened. I tried, but these last 2 characters are actually my personas, and yes, I have 2. I might even have more than that, but the easiest way I can explain it is Shugo Kyara. If you've ever seen that, that's essentially what's going on here. But yes, so one of them is based off of like the main branding that you see of it being all like light blue and angelic, daytime type of energy, and the other one is based off of nighttime, the moon, darks and purples. So yeah, definitely need to redesign those 2, or like need to figure out what I want their designs to be, since I never officially did that. I need to create a character sheet for them especially. Because they're my branding, they're my personas. I love them, they're very precious. Although it kind of feels like less like they're associated with me and more like they are their own characters in a way. So if you do feel like the need to think of them that way, that's totally fine with me, honestly. Also, I'm kind of frantic right now because I yapped too much and I didn't like... I always think that whenever I have a longer video to do a voiceover for, that it's gonna take forever, and then I realize how much I yap, and then I'm like, oh my gosh. So, because we're already more or less like about to be finished, I had to like slow down the last part of the footage a little bit so I could stall and talk about, or just kind of cover some of the things that I wanted to make sure that I got across before fully closing out the video. So on terms of 2024, any like reflections or things like that, I don't think there's like a ton for me to say, at least not with this small amount of time I have left. I feel like this year definitely sucked. Like, it had such strong goods and such strong bads, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of just left from it feeling very exhausted. Like, I need a rest for like a good half a year. And so yeah, I feel like I'm kind of glad to move on. There were still great moments that I had. There's definitely moments that I've been thankful for. But again, I'm kind of just like good riddance. And for next year, I don't really have any strong resolutions, I won't say. Like, I don't think I have anything like I'm not going in super gung-ho about the year, things like that. I feel like I've had enough of that. I think I'm trying to just like take things for what they are and just take it at a doable pace for me. I think 2024's motto for me, because each year I try to make some kind of like motto or phrase to go by or something like that. Not like that I have to super live by it, but it's just kind of like an inspirational thing, maybe, kind of, sort of. And so for 2024, it was to stay true to myself, and I feel like more or less I did that. I don't think I had any troubles with that. That almost feels like a filler type of phrase to give myself, but for this year, I think I just put something along the lines of like, existence in itself is an achievement, and I feel like that more or less covers exactly how I am feeling right now with the amount of exhaustion and things like that. I should also point out that my mental health plummeted a lot this year. I'm not gonna like get into all the details or things like that, but it basically got really bad. I definitely need to look into therapy if possible for next year. Like, if nothing else, I think it would just be good to not try to take so much of a burden all on my own. I think I do that a little bit too much. So yeah, I'd like to work on that. But hey, I made it. I'm still here and I'm still kicking. But on the topic of me sort of just like taking things a little bit slower and just kind of focusing on doing what I can, one of the changes is I plan to take a step back on how much I post. And I know you can meme and say that I haven't posted much lately, but like legitimately, I was hustling this year. Like, even right now I'm hustling because I should be asleep. I should be like, it's been a day and I'm still awake. I'm probably gonna like read manga after this, who am I kidding? But no, I feel like I genuinely put in a lot of work into YouTube this year, and if you know anything about supply and demand, you know that high supply versus low demand is not something that works out too conveniently, for the supplier at least. So I'm thinking to cut back to maybe just a video every week and a half or every 2 weeks. So like, instead of a sure 4 videos on time every month, like each week, I just want to reevaluate my pace and my content, because no matter what, my growth as an artist is way more important to me than social media engagement and all that, because there's just so many parts of social media, especially as an artist and a content creator, that I feel very drained from. And YouTube kept me together simply because I enjoy making videos, but just because I enjoy making them doesn't mean that I can excuse any loss of potential and growth as an artist whenever right now I have yet to see my video efforts pay off for me in a way that's like sustainable. And that's not to say that this hasn't been for nothing, of course. Like, I'm incredibly grateful for the small engagement I've received and continue to receive. Like, I always say thank you for watching because I genuinely mean that. It always shocks me each time. I'm a very shy and introverted person. I'm very naturally awkward as well, so I'm always confused that there's like quite a handful of y'all that like willingly play my content. Like, that's crazy, but thanks. So yeah, I will definitely continue to post. I'm just gonna like sort of manage my output on it and like tone it down a little bit and see if it kind of helps me focus on some of my personal projects and things like that. And yeah, you guys can let me know, you know, if you feel like there's even gonna be a difference to you, because I don't know, like how often do y'all watch YouTube anyways? Because I am the kind of person where I wait for my subscription fee to build up and then I just like binge watch it all at once while I'm working on stuff. So I don't really feel the need to like check in every week or so, but that's just me. I also feel like I need to like find other artists to watch and engage with, because I feel like I get in the comfort zone and I don't check out more people, and I should. So I definitely want to do that more this year. Also, sorry if I seem so all over the place in this voiceover, in this video in general. Again, I'm scrambling to just kind of like throw all this together, and I feel like the sleep deprivation is eating at my brain at this point, so I don't know if things are making any sense anymore, but I will most likely clarify anything like genuinely important in a future video or things like that. We do have some videos lined up, so while I apologize for my scatterbrainness and chaos going on in this, I just wanted to have a nice little final video drawing session with you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and show what the spread looks like after I do some touch-ups off camera as well. But again, I didn't do any like typical painting rendering like I would normally do with a spread like this, but I do think the little touch-ups that I did and like adding the captions made it kind of fun. But yeah, hopefully this was somewhat relaxing. Probably not, because I just sound all kinds of disoriented and I'm just a mess, but thank you regardless anyways. Thank you guys for sticking with me for all of 2024 if you have, or if you found me sometime along the way. Thanks so much. I hope your holidays are going well, or whether if you celebrate or not. I hope you guys are just staying safe, staying comfortable, taking time for yourself to rest and recover before the year starts over again. You can let me know if you have any resolutions, art related or not. I definitely have a lot to look at on my list, but for now, I think we should all just take it easy for a little bit and yeah, prepare, maybe find some things to look forward to in the new year. There's so many things that come to mind, but I think just continuing to draw and indulge in art is probably one of the best things. And at this point for me, probably getting some sleep. So on that note, I just want to say one last time for 2024, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, you can let me know by leaving a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you're new, I am Rhea or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. I used to post weekly videos, but now it'll probably be bi-weekly. But if you'd like more timely updates, you can probably just continue to follow me here. I'll post a short, and you can maybe follow my Instagram. But until next time, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of your year. Happy 2025, and take care.